All right, gang, welcome back to our Island Preservation Challenge here on Ronida Island. It is February. We've got a couple things to do today, as a matter of fact. We've got the coastal cotton field here that has the oilseed radish in it. We need to go ahead and plow that up, get the stones up, and get some cotton replanted in there, of course. Our other cotton field in the far distance there is ready to harvest, so we're going to head down there now with our harvesters here, or our balers, I guess, in this instance. We're going to get started there. We'll put a worker on probably doing it right off the bat, and then we'll come help a little bit later on. And, yeah, other than that, those are the two main things we have to do today. One other thing we want to do, if we have the time to do it, is plow up our knife field here and get the oilseed radish planted in there. If we're able to do that, then I think we'll be in a really good spot moving forward. Now, next month, this field will be ready to harvest, but it looks like not much else besides that. So that's why I'm saying if we don't have enough time to do this one, not a big deal. We can do it next month for sure. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're all doing well. Well, mostly things are good. Man, work has been, I feel like I say this a lot, but crazy things have happened at work. If you watched yesterday's episode, you probably already know this, of the Triple Threat Challenge. Long story short, I'll try to keep it as short as I can because I could go about it for a while. Many years ago, the company that I work for, the guy who owned it passed away, unfortunately. So there was an interim CEO and president that kind of stood in, and then the kids of the individual who owned the company decided they didn't want it. So then they decided to sell the company. So they sold the company to another company. That company put a president in charge, has been in charge for the last, well, I guess 2.5 years now at this point, and was just this week let go for whatever reason. So work has been a little insane. We're back to a point where we have to kind of prove our worth so they don't get rid of us, I guess. I don't know. So I'm a little concerned for my career, I guess. Hopefully, fingers crossed, nothing happens. Hopefully I'm still good, but it does make me a little concerned because they're going to make a ton of changes, and I have to prove everything, my worth and what I'm doing, and, you know, give them like timestamps of everything I'm doing. I don't know, it just feels a little... Things just don't feel very good, I guess is how I will put it. So, I don't want to linger on that too much, but just things have been a little stressful. So, anyway, hopefully things get better. So we'll see how things play out here, but hopefully things get better. Other than that, a couple things to talk about. One, this should be releasing on Saturday, I think. I might have my days wrong, but I think this is released on Saturday. If it is Saturday, I believe I'm going to go live with the shop tomorrow, I believe. I'm not sure what time. I'm not sure all that situation yet. I will let you know when it does happen, but I will, make a post on here. I'll make a post on the Discord, and I'll obviously link it to the channel as well. There's a tab at the top that says store, I think, or shop, or whatever it says. But I'll link it, all of that there as well, and get that set up properly. But yeah, we're going to do that. We are going to have a kind of a go live special where I'm going to give a discount on everything. At current, we're going to have about 4 shirts for farming, and then 2 shirts for my other channel. I'm combining them both together. It just makes it much easier for me to manage it all in one. I'll try to kind of segregate them into their own little categories, like the farm category and other category, or whatever I decide to do, right? I'll try to do that. But yeah, we're gonna be getting that going here. Now, again, I'm not asking or begging or anything like that for you to buy one, but if you're interested in it, maybe check it out, see if it interests you at all. I'm very happy with it. As I mentioned, I bought 2 shirts already. Very happy with how both of them turned out. As a matter of fact, the first one I really liked, but I wanted to make one tiny minor modification to it. I did do that, and yeah, very happy with the second one. So we're gonna roll with it. But so that's coming up. Also, a lot of you mentioned that I should attempt to take my Xbox off of... so I have it directly wired, Ethernet wired directly into it. Mostly because it's just overall better for, your connection speed, right? But a lot of you said take it off of that and then try to, connect to like wireless or your phone, 4G, 5G, whatever you got, right? And it'll allow them to download. And lo and behold, it actually worked. I don't know why that would work. That doesn't really make any sense to me, but it worked. So I was able to actually get one of the maps that I wanted to install installed now. I've got some other mods installed as well. So yeah, we're better off than I thought we were going to be. But it's just a little weird that is how it resolved it, right? It just doesn't make any sense at all. But it worked, so I guess I can't really complain about it, right? It worked. So let's put this on a worker. I'll let them do their thing. I'm just going to turn this off. We're going to jump into the John Deere here once I flip to it properly. All right, we need to get the plow. Might need to give some food to the chickens, too. I don't know. We'll have to take a peek at that. They may be okay. Oops, I forgot I moved the plow over here. All right, just destroy the water tank. Yeah, go ahead, Z. Way to go, buddy. Good job. So anyway, I guess all things said, I'm just a little flustered right now. So I don't know, man. I don't know what's gonna happen with my real life job and what's gonna happen to me. I don't know if I'm gonna get laid off. I don't know what's gonna happen here. Just there's a lot going on, and it's just a little nerve-wracking, I guess. But we'll find a way through it. We always do, right? We always do. So I got that map downloaded, right? I talked about that. I got that map downloaded, and so I've got to do a little bit of prep work though. So the earliest, and I'm not even guaranteeing it's going to be, but the earliest that series would release is going to be really this Wednesday. That would be the very earliest. It may not even release this Wednesday. I don't know yet. I have to kind of see how long it's going to take me to get things set up here. But yeah, so bit of a spoiler, but not really. I've talked about it before. I think we're going to continue Z's story, I think is what we're going to end up doing, so long as everything works out. Now, don't hold me to it. Maybe I change my mind, and maybe I throw out a curveball and it's something else just because things aren't, working as well as I expected, right? I haven't even tried to start setting it up or anything like that. I will try to do it this weekend. Well, when this is released, it'll be this weekend. I'm obviously recording this before that, but so we'll see how this weekend plays out. But yeah. I mean, I think we're gonna go for Z's story unless something changes here. I really do. I like the idea. I really do. I think it's going to be good. I think it'll be different. It's not going to be kind of the same thing that we've been doing, which, in other words, what I mean by that is this series is a little bit different for sure because we're using the manual stuff, right? And we're doing cotton heavily, which we don't normally do that, right? But we use a lot of the base crops a lot. I'm talking the wheats, the barleys, the sorghums, the soybeans, the canola, right? We do all that a lot. This series will not be that. I will give that much away. That's a bit of a spoiler, but I will give that much away. So I think that's the reason why I'm going to go that approach. I think, one, it'll be good for changing it up a bit, doing some different crop, and two, I just like the idea that I've kind of created for this. My members probably already know what it is. Well, they do know what it is. But I just think I think it's going to be I think it'll be good for a series. So I think we're gonna do that. So. How are our sheep doing? They still have plenty of grass, plenty of meadow grass. They're fine. They are still reproducing. Might be in our best interest to start actually going and buying some more. I don't know if we can actually buy any more or not. Chickens, they've got 2,000 liters of food, so they're okay, but they're going to need some. There's a lot of chickens over there. Look at all the pallets of clothes we've got. You love to see it, man. You absolutely love to see it. This is going to be immense when April, May comes around here, right? We still have a handful of episodes before we get there, but it is going to be, man, we're going to have so much money. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Now, again, my approach realistically, ooh, that's pretty nice, actually. You might have to consider that. That's silage style. I don't really want silage style, but anyway, we may have to consider that, even though we don't have a semi right now. Realistically, with that money, I really want to get the gigantic cotton harvester. I really do. I don't want to use the manual one if I can help it anymore. Also, I would love, which we've talked about a couple of times now, to go ahead and get the cows down. We really need to get those down so we can actually start getting these fields at a higher yield, right? So we definitely need to focus on the cows here very soon. So that is really going to be the next step. Really, for me personally, even more than land and even more than starting our house, it's getting that harvester, then getting the cow enclosure pen down, and then with whatever money's remaining, then we'll make a decision on either more land and or starting the house. Now, speaking of the house, I've said this a couple times. You all are correct. So the house that I was potentially looking at putting down, it does appear that it's going to require castle stone, which is another level, and it makes it way more difficult and it makes it longer to actually accomplish. This series is already going to be long enough as it is, so me personally, I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to shift gears and not do that. I still would like to do a log cabin. I don't know if there's a log cabin out on Mod Hub besides the one that's well, it's not even on Mod Hub, but besides the standard one that we have and the one that came with the DLC there with Kinleg, I don't know if there is another one. If there's another log cabin out there in Mod Hub to get for constructible, we might do that. If not, I think I'm just going to have to unfortunately eat my words a bit and not do a log cabin and do something else. I think a log cabin makes more sense for this specific series, but I don't want to do the same log cabin we've done in the past, and really, there's only one log cabin option out there besides the one for the Kinleg, and that one we did early on with FS25, more specifically with the survival challenge we did early on. So, I guess long story short, we've got some decisions to make here. Now, if anybody has an idea or a thought on a constructible, specifically, hopefully, around a log cabin approach that's in Mod Hub, make sure you let me know down below. I will definitely check it out. Hopefully this weekend, I will also spend some time on Mod Hub to see if I can find anything from a constructible standpoint that is log cabin or log cabin-ish. But if we can't find anything, we can't find anything, right? It is what it is. We move on. Now, we're getting pretty far along into this series as far as the episodes go, and we don't have a whole lot to show for it. I mean, we do. But, I mean, this is a gigantic map, right? We have to own every single plot of land. We own 4, technically, and I would say one of them could barely be argued that it's an actual plot of land, right? So, we got some work to do, I guess is how I'm going to put it. We've got some work to do. This cotton is going to be a huge help for us, though, right? It's going to be a huge help. Now, we might have to, like I said, take a bit of a step backwards and not get any more land for a while just to try to help speed things up for us. But it's definitely going to help. It's definitely going to help us. And if we're able to get through all of it, plus the ones that we're harvesting now, which I feel like we're going to have a pretty high chance to do. This one has 5,000. This one has, just over 9, right, in it. I think we have a pretty high probability that we're going to get most of that chewed through. We've got a lot of money. We've got a lot of money coming to us, right? There's 6,000 in storage in one, and we've got quite a few pallets that are spawned out there, right? So if each of those pallets make around 20 grand, I mean, we did the math in the last episode, but now we got 3 more to add to it, plus 6 more in the storage, right? That's a lot of money. That's a lot of potential money that we could have there, right? That's a lot of potential money. What else? Talked about the abysmal situation that's going on with work right now, and talked about this series specifically. We talked briefly about a new series that's going to be coming soon. What else? If you haven't done so already, I would recommend you check out my other channel, if you're interested in it, of course. We're playing through Red Dead Redemption 2 right now. Having a blast with that. And soon we'll be starting the Halo campaign Evolved when it releases. I do get early access to it, not because they gave me early access, but because I pre-ordered it. So I get it like 3 or 4 days early or whatever it is. But we'll be playing through that. It's a very big part of my gaming life, really. That game came out and when I think it was pretty much either I was about to be a freshman or I was a freshman in high school. So that shows my age, I guess. But yeah, I mean, a long time ago. A long time ago. This is before video game streaming and recording and everything was as big as it is now. It really wasn't around. It was just kind of the beginnings of it, the rumblings of it. But I say we, friends of mine in high school, were all sponsored actually to play Halo, the original Halo. So it was kind of cool. Now the sponsorship we got is nothing like what you would expect. It's like I wasn't making money. That's not how it worked back then. But you may have heard it before. It's called Balls Energy Drink, BAWLS. It's one of the first energy drinks, I think. But anyway, they sponsored us. They were big sponsors of LAN parties and console parties or whatever you want to call it. And man, we had a lot of fun, man. We had a lot of fun back in the day with that. We really did. What are we doing here? We're all over the place here. What are we doing? It's a little shame, though, I guess, that I am so old that I kind of missed the boat there for making all the tons of money that all these young kids make now. It's crazy. It's crazy what they're making. It's insane. But anyway. So, if I was maybe a little bit younger and was around when this all first started and, I had more time in the day than I do now. I mean, back then, like I said, we were sponsored to play Halo, so, you never know what would have happened. You never know what might have happened. That could have been a big, I don't know. Halo's not really that big anymore, but, could have been big into something else. Who knows, right? Who knows? There you go. There's a little bit more about me that you probably don't know about. I actually still have, so they gave us this big, gigantic banner, and so what we basically, we called it something, basically, and it was basically a name of a town that we lived in, and then Halo, that's what we called it. But they gave us a big, gigantic banner. It's like, I don't know, I still have it, surprisingly. It's kind of banged up pretty bad, but I still have it. But it's, I don't know, it's probably 12 to 16 foot wide. Like it's a big banner, man. It's crazy. So if I ever get the chance to do it, I would love to kind of take it and get it framed a bit and then put it up at some point, but it takes up a lot of space, right? So, and like I said, it's not the greatest. It's the corners and stuff, we just kind of had them like tacked up, with push tacks or push pins or whatever, right? So, it's not perfect pristine quality, but I still, just because it has, such a nostalgic, factor for me, I would love to be able to get that and get it framed up somehow and put it up in the game room somehow. I don't know. So hopefully, speaking of all the Halo stuff, hopefully then on my other channel we'll get to play through the whole thing. We will, not even hopefully, we will get to play through the whole thing. But hopefully they didn't screw it up. Ever since Bungie kind of left the whole Halo realm, they haven't been the same in my eyes. I think the most recent game that came out, the Halo Infinite game, was a step in the right direction, but I still don't think it's good enough. That's my opinion. Right or wrong, that's my opinion. Okay, what else? I don't know if I have anything else specifically to bring up right now or not. We've got $12,532 in the bank. It's not a whole lot of money. There's not really anything besides this in the used market that I would be considered or interested in. But if we buy that, that's going to be similar to our winch that we bought. It would just be something we would kind of just hang on to and store. And in this case, it would just be stored at the main shop because we have no way to get it back here. Unless, of course, we buy, a different attachment to be able to hook it to the back of a tractor, right? Which we could do that, I guess. Don't know how the workers doing. Hopefully they're doing and getting along well there. We got to get the rest of this done. We got to get the stones up, and then yeah, we'll get some cotton back in the ground here. All right, that was a long time, but we ended up getting a lot done, and I kind of modified the plan a little bit there. I went ahead and plowed up both fields. We're getting the stones up here off this field, obviously, because we're going to put cotton back in this field today. The other field I just got plowed up. We're going to have to put some oilseed radish in the ground there. I'm not sure if we'll get that done today or not. We also have the other cotton field, which I believe the worker finished. I think I saw it pop up during the time-lapse, but I might be wrong. Well, here, I can figure it out, actually. Yeah, it looks like the worker has finished, which is good. There's a lot of bales in there, also a good thing for us, so we got to get those up too, right? So, once we get this last strip here, I think this is all that's remaining, at least of the rocks that are in there. I did miss a few little spots, but there was no rocks on it, so it's not a big deal. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to put a worker on starting to put the cotton in here, so then we can take care of that field over there, among numerous other things we need to do to kind of clean up here. I just think it's the best approach at this point, so we'll go ahead and do that. Alright, that's all in there. There's a lot of stones in there. We're going to get full pretty quickly there if we don't start producing some stuff for the house soon, so... So So I just went back out to Mod Hub and well, realistically, I went back out and before that time lapse and selected the things that I did get downloaded. So we have, you know, some different options and things like that. But realistically, it's not letting me do anything in regard to downloading again. So I guess I'm going to have to go back to the Wi-Fi approach off the phone. It's so weird. I don't know why that's happening on Xbox. It's very, very weird. But anyway, it is happening, so it is what it is. There's not much I can do about it, right? So this is probably not going to be enough cotton seed. As a matter of fact, I can already tell you it's likely not going to be. But we can at least get the workers started. We'll go get some more at the shop here soon. All right, get the worker going there. So we didn't even need to bring this realistically because quite frankly, the worker got it all done. We had a lot to do, and it ended up taking us longer than I anticipated. So, or I guess I could look at it that the worker did this field faster than I anticipated. Either way. Yeah, so we'll put this back on the trailer, bring it back, and we'll grab the other trailer and start picking up all these bales and getting them prepped to go into one of Grandma's knitwear, probably the new one. I think the new one has the least amount, so it probably makes the most sense. Now, a lot of you mentioned this. I don't know if I brought it up yet or not. Fair, I'm doing this recording in 2 different days. But in other, evidently, there is palm trees. That's what you guys were all saying. I didn't really even think to look in other. Yeah, there they are. You're right. There's palm trees. Huh. Well, there you go. I guess if we want to add more palm trees later on, which we might want to do, we have the option to do so now. Might end up removing that tree for a palm tree. Who knows? I still like that tree, but I think a palm tree makes slightly more sense than the location that it is in. But I don't think it's terrible either. So we'll probably just keep it. Now, there should be a decent amount of bales here. It's obviously not going to be as many as the other 2 fields we just harvested, but there should still be a decent amount here. Now, we're still going to have to do it the old-fashioned way, manually, if you will. Sliding them off manually because I can't get them to go off on this trailer no matter what if I don't do it that way. So we'll still have to go that approach, but that's all right. It's all right. Whoa! Too sharp of a corner there, Z. Way too sharp of a corner. Wage payment, yep. We paid the worker quite a bit for that, but that's all right. Now, a lot of people were saying that they're pretty astonished that I'm still doing the manual stuff at this point. But well, realistically, we just need more money, right? We kind of put our focus on some other things instead of just keeping our fields to a small size. We kind of expanded pretty quickly there on purpose. But we're going to be getting all the big equipment here very, very soon. Like I said, once we start selling all these clothes, we're going to make some big changes in regard to equipment. More specifically, the harvester for the cotton, because that's our big focus right now. And then from there, we're going to continue to expand and make larger purchases as well for equipment-wise. But realistically, that is the first thing we want to do is get that cotton harvester and then get an enclosure or a pasture down for cows, and then the rest of it's going to be spent really for more than likely maybe buying one more field or one more plot of land, I should say, and then the rest of it's all going to be on trying to upgrade equipment wherever we can, just to make things faster, because we're going to need it, because we're starting to get large here, so we're going to need bigger equipment just to make things quicker for us, because we're only allowed one worker, right? Like I said, maybe late in the series, I might bend that rule a little bit since I'm on console and allow myself to do more than one worker, but we'll see. Maybe we won't need to. But I just have a feeling it's going to be really difficult for me since I don't have the massive super strength edition or the advantage, I guess I should say, that all the PC players have, right? We do have liftable bale and pallets, but that's the extent really of what we have. We can't really just pick anything up we can't pick up trees and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's going to be the problem, is when we start getting to the trees here that we have to chop down. Those are going to be, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to take a long time to get all that done. That's going to be a lot of, in my opinion, winching, and just pulling them back, and probably placing down quite a few different sawmills all over the place just to make our life easier, so I don't have to pull the trees as far, right? It's going to be very, very much strategic on where I put the sawmills at to make that work properly. If not, it's going to be, it'll be a daunting task. Well, it's already going to be a daunting task, even with all that strategy I just talked about. It's still going to be, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a struggle. Okay, can you please? Thank you. I'll put this one in there as well. Perfect. 9,000 liters in there. This one's got 8,000 liters, so it's about as even as you could possibly get them to be now. They only have a few months, really, before we're going to be selling stuff, so we really want them to chew through that as fast as humanly possible. I think they're going to get through most of it. I really do, which is a good thing. Now, while the workers continuing to do the drilling here, I'm going to head on over here to the sheep and pick up some wool. We'll bring that over here as well and drop that off. And then we're probably going to have to go get seeds. Like I said, I don't think we're going to have enough seeds to get this field done. It is a large field, right? It is a large field. The next episode, like I said before, I don't think there's going to be much for us to do. This field will be ready. We'll probably put the oilseed radish in the knife field. We'll probably plow up the field we just finished harvesting. Well, I say we, the worker finished harvesting. We'll probably do all of that in the next episode, I would say, in March. Just continues to keep giving us something to do, right? A lot of you have been calling out the whole moving of animals and selling of animals, and you're correct. I'm technically not allowed to sell the animals like that. I have to kind of move them, and he's changed. Evidently, Crustu's changed the rule where they have to be so old, and then you can sell them. Which, fine. Most of mine are probably going to be at that stage before we move them anyway. I'm going to put them over here, just because this one has slightly less right now. Cotton, so we'll give them some wool. We'll give the grannies over here some wool, I guess I should say. And we'll turn this on. Perfect. And they should be able to chew through that by the next episode. Alright, so we need seeds. Well, we think we need seeds. We definitely need seeds. So, let's go buy some seeds. Anything pop up in the used market for us? Nope, still the same thing. You never know. Unlikely, but you never know. We'll just buy one. So let's head up to the shop, pick that up, bring it back here, and then make sure we'll be able to get this whole field done. Hopefully the worker will get a good chunk more done by the time we get down there and back, because it will take us a few minutes to get there and back. So I'll go ahead and do that. We'll just do a jump cut, and I will meet you back here. Okay, we're pulling up here. I'm just going to leave this right here. I'm going to take over for the worker right now. And we're going to fill this up just kind of right here on the edge of the field. And then we're going to go more of our traditional way that we would normally go, which isn't the realistic way, but we're going to go around the headlands here first, and then we'll take over the middle there and kind of clean all this up. It shouldn't take us long, hopefully, to get all this done. The worker got a decent amount done, right? They got a decent amount done. I would say they're, I don't know, we're probably around halfway, because this is a much smaller section than what they did, right? Maybe a little less than halfway, but we're close, right? Another pallet has spawned on the second Grandma's Knitwear, or in the beginning of our sweatshop. I did see a comment from a member on the channel, Agrarian Builder, who said that he's got multiple Granny's Knitwears going on his playthrough here of the island preservation. So the sweatshop will continue. It will probably get larger, although I have mentioned a couple of times, and I do mean it, once we get, you know, we solidify ourselves even further than we are now, and money's not maybe as big of an issue, we'll probably kind of upgrade to some larger cotton processing plants and you know, fabric and everything else. We'll probably go that whole approach. having full understanding and full transparency that I don't really need to with Grandma's Knitwear, because it kind of takes that out of the realm, which all of you correctly stated. But nonetheless, I still kind of like the idea of doing that, so we'll probably end up doing that at some point later on, especially when our operation gets much larger, right? It's going to get larger, but when it gets much, much larger, once we have like field 78, really field 62, 52, like all these fields down here, I mean, we're going to have quite a number of cotton fields. We already have a lot, but it's going to be even more, right? Still have the plans up here for some kind of a winery or you know, whatever. Grapevines on the side of the hill there. I like that idea. We're still going to go with that. Maybe I still want to do it here, but you never know. Maybe we change where we do it, but I still want to do it here, so it's probably going to be on these fields here or these plots here. I still have the idea of doing, you know, 4 different kind of farms, really, you know, on each corner of the map, if you will. That won't have to drive things as far. Although, at the same time, you never know. Once we get further along in this series, it might not be as beneficial to do that. It might just be 2 farms, you know, that are kind of like that. Who knows? We'll see. Really just depends as we move along, really, what the best approach is. Of course, you know, ideas you have early on, they're going to likely change as you continue to progress and things come to fruition, right? Things are going to change, and there's going to be a lot of these fields that we're not even going to touch. I'm going to tell you that right now. There's going to be a lot we're not even going to touch them. We're really not. A lot of the fields in the middle here, if we touch them, it's going to be just for the trees. There's not really a reason to get rid of, you know, all of those trees, because every time you chop down a tree, you got to plant more, right? That's part of the rules, right? So I'm trying to limit as many trees as I can to take down, just because I don't want to have to plant thousands and thousands and thousands of trees if I can help it. I will, but I don't want to unless I absolutely have to, right? What else? Today, bit of a shameless plug, but today I actually finished the main story prior to the epilogue of Red Dead Redemption 2. It was released today. It's a very, very long episode. Really enjoyed it. It's like 2.5 hours long. So on my other channel, there's a link down below. So if you haven't and you're interested in Red Dead Redemption, or you like Red Dead Redemption, you can see my reaction to the ending of it. I am going to play through the epilogue. I actually start it in that same exact video. We don't get too far into it, spoiler, but we start it. But I guess the epilogue is about 7 or 8 hours more of gameplay, which is kind of cool. But yeah, the main story of Red Dead Redemption 2 I did finish as of the time of this recording's release. And I don't know why we're going that way. Why would you send us that way? That doesn't even make any sense. Okay, there we go. I don't know why it would do that. That was super weird. Anyway, so yeah, if you want to, if you want to, you don't have to, but if you want to, check that out. Tomorrow, more than likely, you know, permitting, go live of the shop tomorrow. I will make sure I put a comment in Discord and on the channel. I'll make sure everything's linked, all that good stuff. But yeah, we'll be doing a discount probably for the first week or so. I don't know how long I'll do it, but it'll be a discount for everyone, you know. Probably like 10%, maybe 15, but I think 10% is really all I can do before I actually start losing money. Because all of these are not, you know, they're made to order, right? So they're more expensive to make, because I'm not buying them in bulk, of course, right? So anyway. Yeah, I think that's really all I got. We don't have much left to do here. It shouldn't take long. I know we already did a very, very long time lapse, for that matter. But let's get another one done here. Like I said, it won't take us too long. I do want to get some kind of a power washer too soon. So keep me honest on that if you don't see me do it. I know I mentioned it in the other channel, the other series, the other main series, the Triple Threat Challenge. I know I mentioned it there as well, but we really, really do. We need one on both series. I need to actually spend the money to do that, just to make sure our equipment looks good. Because right now, it's quite dirty. It is quite dirty. Okay, we are pretty much done with this field, and so are we for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, gang. If you did, I would greatly appreciate it if you smashed the like and the subscribe button in the case you've yet to do both. They are free to do. It helps me out an absolute ton. Thanks to all my members for all their continued support. As I've mentioned below, there is a link down below. If you want early access to videos like this one, maybe consider becoming a member and joining the gang there. Also, check out my second channel, as I've mentioned. Check out the Discord down below. Everything you need, it's always down below for you. Leave a comment. Let me know whatever you're feeling, good, bad. I'm always happy to get back to you on that. Like I've said before, sometimes it takes me a couple days to get back to you, but I will get back to every single comment. I reply to every single comment, I promise. I think that's all I got. Thanks so much for watching, gang. Thanks for all your support, as always, and I'll see you next time.